I am just... Fuck said.
There's something special about your love. I think it's one of a kind.
Good morning, beautiful people. I want to show you something. This watch, it's an Invicta gold watch. Dan bought this for me. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. At least 9 months ago. I believe he bought it for me for my last birthday, and I've never worn it. I want you to see this work area. Don't come at me, okay? So this is just literally a bit of it. I already fixed 11 watches, okay? So there were 5 of my watches that needed battery changes and 6 of Dan's watches that needed battery changes. And then 2 watches, the links need to be taken out. So like I said, this watch, and Dan had another Invicta that I bought him, I believe, Christmas of last year, and neither of us have worn it. It's one of those like, yeah, it's a present of ours and we want to use it and we want to wear it, but I'm also the type of person that I don't like to pay people to do things that I can do myself. But the reality is sometimes we hold on to this perpetual list of things that we have to do, and we're like, okay, what takes priority and what doesn't? And unfortunately, this was one of those things that didn't take priority in what was going on in our daily lives. But then something as precious as a gift that was given to us, neither of us were able to take advantage of it because there were links in the watch that we made the watch too big. So I just say this to say respect to the people out there that are like, oh, DIY, do things yourself like me. But if you can afford it, are able to, sometimes you just have to hire someone to do things. Me, I had to not discipline myself, but I had to just kind of take a moment and realize, like, when you are doing this thing or you're just keep pushing things aside because you're like, I need to do it, I need to be the one to do it. Sometimes you just gotta like, Lisa, you can't do it right now. Hire somebody. If you can hire someone, if it's a task that can be, delegate it. Even in our jobs, like as nurses, we have a tendency to kind of want to like take control and not delegate what you can delegate to a staff member that is trained to do it. And it's like, make your life easier. And these watches, these links, they all could have been done, I guess, little by little. And so we wouldn't have felt the big effect of like, boom. The 11 watches and the link changes probably would have been like $150 to do. So again, I'm proud of myself that I actually did it, but you have to take note when you need to be able to delegate or hire someone. What is the reward in waiting to have it done versus delegating it to somebody else? Because I'm finally able to wear my watch today, but I could have been wearing my watch months ago. All right, guys, we're gonna head on the road. Dana wants to go to Sam's Club. I want to go to Walmart because I have returns. I was like, yo, you can just do Sam's Club in the morning when you're coming from work and just do a pickup that way. But I'll see you after I get ready. Oh, let me show you guys. You see the yellow light? Watch this light. This is like a wider light. Weirdly enough, it's like, I don't know if I'm exaggerating this emotion, but it's mood improving. This yellow light, I don't know, this is more like a white natural light. That yellow light, especially when you're trying to put on makeup, not so cute. All right, gonna get dressed. Our favorite spot, the garage, because we're hitting the road yet again, and we're doing some returns. Going to, I'm not even sure if it's Vineland or Premium. I think it's Vineland. Pardon me, and a Sam's pickup. Head back home because tonight I'm going to be recording. It's just really just a trailer. If you haven't already, please go and check it out. It's on our main channel page, and it's just kind of telling you where we're going in 2023. And thank you for coming here today. If you haven't done already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't done it already. Let's go.
What's up, guys? So we're taking a little bit to get on the road here. The sun is started to go down. It's about 6:14 or so. I just Lisa looked like she found the camera bag. The last delay going through the door. I was trying to find the camera bag. I am just recognizing this about myself. So I'm gonna start to say things out loud. Whether it is something I recognize, something that I am calling out, something that I am asking for, a goal, a wish. Let the world hear your thoughts. Make yourself hear it out loud, because sometimes you think things and you don't really realize how ridiculous they sound. We are in the parking lot of Cheesecake Factory. I'm taking Dan on a date. Fun fact, Cheesecake Factory is where we went for our first date. Did I pick Cheesecake Factory? It was like a neutral place to me.
Yeah, because it was just like, it was close to where we lived. I was like, yo, endless choices. So it's like our first date Dan was talking about something earlier, and I want him to finish that statement. So he was saying the year has started, and something that he wants to implement for the new year is...
If I want to achieve something, or if I'm praying for something, or I'm trying to reach something, I want to say it out loud. I need to make sure that it makes sense. There's things you think in your mind that when you say them out loud, you're like, oh, actually, that's not really what I want, or that doesn't really actually make any sense. And you never know who will hear your prayer. You know, you might be saying, man, I just want to have Tuesday off. And somebody could be like, damn, I need to work Tuesday. But you never say it out loud. Yeah. That person will never hear your intentions. Yeah. Now, I know not all your thoughts are for every audience, but I'm just going to be out loud and make sure that, you know, if I feel something or say something, say it out loud and see if it makes sense. You know, whether it's a higher power or it's someone around you or it's yourself you need will hear it. Even if it's not something I'm asking for, even if it's something I realize. Like we were at the house and we were getting ready to go on the road, and it was supposed to be like, yo, just gonna run to Sam's Club and get something and come back. And like we were taking a while to get on the road. It was just like little hiccups. Like I was taking a while to find something to wear. Kellan was like, oh, I just want to lie down. Then, you know, Lisa spent her time getting ready. Then like trying to get out the door with a toddler is not easy. You have to have all the cup and all of that stuff ready. And at a certain point, I was just getting kind of like miserable and like irritated. And I was like, yo, what are you getting miserable about? Before I explore being miserable and getting like irritable with anybody, what are you actually miserable about? I feel irritated because, and I was like, once I said that out loud, like, I feel irritated because we're taking so long to get on the road. And I was like, because what? So what? Yeah. Like, you're off tonight, you're off tomorrow night. What are you in a rush and a time restraint to do? Like, yeah, we do have something we want to go home and do. We don't want to spend all night on the road. I always say, like, whenever you're trying to get on the road and things just seem to be getting in your way.
To all my old Jamaican moms out there that are like,
something trying to keep you off the road.
Trying to keep you. Exactly.
And it don't mean from going at all, but just keep you
to delay
5 minutes.
That 10 minutes. There could be something on the road. Trust me.
And 10 minutes up the road would be an accident that was meant for you if you didn't get on the road at the time.
So true.
So it's just like you after a while and you see say you're not making the headways. Either you have to follow the vibe to don't go, or you have to know like, yo.
You know what? At some point in that, I was like, yo, should we just like go tomorrow? And the reality is like, I was like, yo, I want to go Cheesecake Factory. And I keep saying, oh, we're going to go next, you know, in a month time or whatever. And we've had this gift card and I'm like, I want to use the gift card and get my cheesecake. And it's like, you have to slow down and live in the moment. And then we had Kellan that we were playing with. Like, don't forget the moments that we were like giggling in bed and tickling Kellan. So yeah, things were being delayed, but things were happening. And live in the present because you might not have that tomorrow. Okay.
So with that said though, I will say this, and I'm going to be honest, this is a bit self-serving in this argument, right? Me and Lisa having a small like debate over these things. Yeah, so with my channel launch now is coming off of some success from a video that we did, and I'm like, yo,
two videos.
Our highest viewed video and our second highest viewed video. So I'm just doubling down on that. You guys will see the link. So Lisa sacrificed this piece of furniture, like a desk thing that she was putting all her stuff in, and it was in the closet for the longest time, and I needed it for the channel. And there was a moment where I was like, wow, like Lisa is giving me this thing, like you better not waste it. And I was like, that was that like positive pressure, like okay, here's the resources you need, time to do what you need to do. But saying that, living in the now kind of thing, you know, like you plan for your future, but you live in the present. And I think too many times we plan for the future, but then we live in the future too. We're like, oh, you know what, I'm going to buy this shirt, oh, I'm going to lose some weight in the future, so I'm going to buy a small even though it's a medium I wear, or I'm going to buy a medium even though it's a large I need. No, buy what you need now, and then when you lose the weight, the annoyance of having to buy new clothes is just part of the sacrifice. Is not something that you will be more annoyed with than going through your clothes and going like, this can't fit, I don't like how this look. That's why I said live in the now, and that's where the selfish part of the argument come in. I'm trying to convince Lisa to get another one because she utilized this thing, and I appreciate the sacrifice, but now she don't have another one. But Lisa's whole thing is, no, she don't want to buy no more furniture for the house that we're renting and blah blah blah. But that's where I'm saying you are living in the future and not you're not planning for the future.
Well, I'm saying I'm living in the present where everything that was in that thing I can put back.
Is
right?
inconvenient to get it? No.
No, what was in there previously was like my roller set. Obviously, you see, I'm natural. Doing a roller set on natural hair on 4 whatever.
But that's
hair
not all that was in
is very
there.
difficult. My flat iron and blow dryer. How often you see me use that?
No, Lisa looked like she just got like fired from her office job. She have these 2 little pathetic looking box stack up instead of this something, and I'm like, yo, just buy another one. It's a little piece of IKEA something that I'm like, yo, listen, wherever we move to in the future, we will find a repurpose for it. You're going to sit down there and say, well, I not going to put up this mirror on the wall. I'm going to leave the mirror on the floor.
You know why I say that too?
Because I don't plan to stay here.
Different mindset. I'm like, buy me a house.
But that is not the difference between you and a house. That's the difference between you and the irritation of living without it until you can get that house.
But you know what? It's not an like that. It's gonna take me a while for me to remember. Oh, my perfume and deodorant and stuff is in that closet. There's no inconvenience for me. You know, I would have been like, nah, this not working. Or I would have been like, no, I need to find something. The fact of the matter is, I understand. Sometimes you have to bend to the will of things. I understand what that tower of, what the piece of furniture means for that channel, just his organization for that. I'm willing to move myself a couple steps away from where it used to be.
So the debate continues. You guys let me know. You guys let me know if you agree with me or you agree with Lisa. So that's why I say plan for your future, but live in now. But live life, because remember, say life can get taken from you at any time. Anyway, let's get into the restaurant. I see you guys at the table.
Avocado.
I have to say this because I've had friends that worked here before. Special credit to anybody who serves here or works here. The menu is huge, and for them to like stay knowing the menu and stuff like that, it really takes a lot. Don't forget, enjoy your food, but always remember the servers and all the work that goes into it. This job is not easy. There's a reason why so many of these people can become nurses and put up with nursing stress. It's not easy. So I can get it a close up. Close enough that it's going to feel like the smell of it. Like, yo, where my fries at?
No matter how many weeks it's been since she's been at the bedside, she's never lost her nursing skills, because she's nursing the hell out of this drink right now. All jokes aside, be blessed, and we'll see you guys back in the car or till the next time the camera turns on. Good morning, people. Or good Friday to you. I hope this video reaches you well and kicks off your weekend in the right fashion. If you hear the trains in the background, don't worry, we don't live next to a train station. That's Kellan's thing right now, is trains. So I'm in the kitchen cooking up some brunch. We had a late start to the day. We were up late last night. And more of my out loud things this year. So this morning I woke up to a new subscriber. And I'm always happy to see new subscribers. So please hit that sub. But more importantly, just calling myself out about this. It was one of my brethren, older sister, my Sistren. We've been friends for, let's not date each other, but over 10 years. Healthy over 10 years. And when she subscribed, I was like, yo, you know how long I have the channel and she just subscribed now? But also, I haven't been posting to social media. That's when she finally saw the post and came over. So, Nigel, what's up? I hope everything is good with you and the kids. Love and blessings. Here's the thing about that though. I realized something. When she subscribed with her own channel. And she's been doing dance from I know her. Obviously before I know her, but from I know her, I knew her that she danced. Watching her videos was the first time that I watched Nigel dance. And I realized that when I was in my 20s, when I'm trying to do music and trying to do all of this stuff, and saying, yo, Jano, you can't get nobody to support. You can't even get somebody to listen to something and tell you how they think about the song and everything. It was like pulling teeth. I realized I was being the same type of support that I was annoyed by. Because even if dancing was not my thing, which it really shouldn't have been that big of a deal. I mean, what's the problem? You're going to go watch a bag of pretty girls got dance. I never went to any of her performances. She never asked me to be fair, but it was just like, oh yeah, that's not my scene. We need to stop supporting people like that. I am going to purposely stop supporting somebody like that. If I meet you and we vibe, even if it's something that I'm not regularly into, I don't care if you tell me, oh, I drive monster truck on the weekend. I can spend an hour and come out or sacrifice a day and come support while you're on your grind up. You know what I mean? Just like if family blogs or couple blogs is not your thing, so what? YouTube does not limit you on how many subs you can have, and they don't charge you either. So why is it always like pulling teeth to get friends and family to hit the sub? Is what a debate me and Lisa go through. But it's because we all do our support like that. It's like, oh yeah, my friend does a YouTube channel. We had a server last night. He has like 5,000 subs on his own channel, right? I don't know if he's actively doing it. He's like, oh yeah, my friend does a family vlog, and they're like 1 million subscribers are over, right? They're like well on into doing it. Not only did we do the time on the fact that like when Lisa initially was going to start blogging was when we got engaged and we were going to do the whole planning. It was right around the same time. So if we had started and stayed consistent, we would have started around that time. Maybe we would be the ones with 1 million subscribers. But also, it's like, he's like, oh yeah, my friend, blah, blah, blah. And he did the right thing. He gave us the name, gained his friend an extra subscriber. But it's like, that's the kind of support that you need to be. If you want that type of support when it's time for you to do your thing, and you don't want to be frustrated by friends and family saying like, yo, why is it like pulling teeth to get my friend to come to my store or look on my website or do this or do that? Then don't support people in that same fashion, because we will find absolute strangers online and hand over our money to them or hand over our time and support to watch them do this and that, but just make fun of like, oh, that's my boy, he think he rapping or whatever, he's going through his rap phase. So what? So what? You need to be the one that listening to it and be like, nah bro, this not it, that second verse wasn't good, or this second verse was good, you are onto something with this lyric. Like, support. I'm not saying you need to spend every last dime in your friend's fashion store if that's not your vibe, but if the fact that that store can go through opening and possibly closing and you didn't spend a dime in there, yeah, somebody can go through a phase of, oh, I want to be skating, I want to dance, and you have never seen them move. This is a 9-year-old video I just watched this morning, and I was ashamed to say that was the first time that I seen Nigel dance on stage. But I'm out here vexed with people over the type of support them giving. So Nigel, I apologize to you, my love. If I ever get the chance to watch you in person, I don't know where your performances are, please get in contact with me so I can put that information. It's like reggae ballet. It actually sounds very interesting. You can find them on YouTube, Future Point, and we're gonna drop it in the description below. Everybody, do your thing, but support like how you want to be supported. Simple as that. Alright, so I'm gonna make some eggs. I made a steak, so I was like, yo, let's cook it up for breakfast and we'll have like a brunch. I'm gonna cook the eggs real quick, eat that. I made some grounds, picky eater thing. Maybe try to get him to eat a little of it now, and some for dinner. And then today we'll have the task of taking down the Christmas stuff. Taking it down is not the hard part. Putting it away is the part that's grueling. On top of like the sentiment that like, oh yeah, the holidays are over. But hey, you know, maybe we'll become one of these people that just go straight into the next holiday. There's people actually putting up Valentine's Day decorations and stuff like that. And I would love to have that kind of space to have those kind of decorations and do that kind of year-round thing. Yeah, we'll get through all the tasks for the day and hopefully do some fun stuff before my weekend starts. So let's get to it. Well, go on, I'll just turn back on the camera, and yeah, so I was supposed to go back outside and try to take down the decorations. It is pretty much getting to pitch black outside, so that is not going to be happening. But we are supposed to be having guests tomorrow come and stay with us, and that room is not ready, so I'm going to concentrate on doing that. I pretty much cooked for Kellan but haven't cooked for us, but we're fine. There's another steak in there that needs to be cooked, so we can always share that, and there's some other food in there from the restaurant yesterday, so we'll be fine for dinner. But it's right around the time frame to get things popping. I think Lisa is going to go upload our video now, so if you haven't seen the trailer for the channel, please go watch that. It gives you a better idea of what you'll see on this channel. Remember, my whole thing for 2023 is going to be out loud. I'm still trying to protect my peace, but out loud. So another thing that I've realized over the years of time, and this also works into the fact that me and Lisa are both nurses, is that we have two different styles that manifest themselves in the way that we work together as a team. So Lisa is more task oriented than I am. I am not good with that. I kind of just help wherever the help needs to be, and she's like, get a task done and those things. She's more organized than I am. Now, the one thing that I would say that is a little different, that where we end up bumping heads when we're working together, is Lisa is used to working in a delegated task team. So it will be like not necessarily what I see as cooperative. Like, you clean upstairs, I clean downstairs. I do this, you do that. And I am much more of the mindset of let's both do these two things at the same time. Now, it takes more coordination to work with someone, but it also takes a little bit more, I don't know, I don't want to say trust or anything like that, but like I said, it works very much into how nursing is and how they've bred us from nursing school through all your years. You know, you might work next to somebody and they might be the best of friends, or you're working together on a team as a shift, but you have your 4 patients, they have their 4 patients. And that nurse is not going to come over and do something to one of your patients. I understand the whole like working side by side but separately, and that's what I see that kind of work as. I sometimes complain about it in nursing. Like, there are times that you do team nursing, so instead of 2 people having 4 patients each, both of you are responsible for 6 patients. So yeah, you have 6 patients, but there's 2 of you working on those 6 patients. There might be a task that you just don't want to do, or in that task there might be a part of that task that you don't like, that other person can handle, and vice versa. And that's cooperative. It takes a lot more communication, it takes a lot more coordination to do that, but that's how I work. And Lisa more works like parallel, in my opinion, where it's like we're next to each other, we can work, but you clean the kitchen and I'll clean the living room or something like that. And if I'm in the way while I'm there, or I move something, even if it's something that needs to be done, it's kind of like, why are you moving that? Or why are you doing that task? Because she's already kind of mapped it out in her head. Like, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to start the laundry. So if I go start the laundry while she's still on this step, it will cause her to kind of like have to reorganize in her mind, and that throws off how we work together. Even though we know that about each other, we still bump heads. So it's going to be interesting in the future to see us do home projects, because I anticipate no matter what we buy, even if it is turnkey, it's going to be something that we're going to have to do, whether it's a small project or a big project or whatever. It's that, you know, you have to be able to communicate, coordinate, and sometimes you just don't want to do that. You rather just coordinate with yourself. You know what your left hand is doing without communicating, like, I'm gonna lift and hand this over to you. So it's a lot easier sometimes. But me, I don't like the sole responsibility of things. I like to be cooperative. We both succeed, we both fail is kind of how I rather do things. I rather work as a cooperative. The 2 of us fold the clothes, then you fold the clothes and I'll go cook the dinner, because that to me is working separate. It's just delegating tasks evenly. And which we have this debate all the time about, is that really working together? You're working on a team, but you're working, to me, as like a parallel team. So that's my whole tangent about that, just knowing that about each other, recognizing that, and trying to work through it going forward. Let's get to it, because as you can see, it's not crazy, but in here could use a little work. So let's get to it.
You will always be my inspiration.